No!
Okay, so that clip was from the second to last run I did before the run that I'm about to show. This is a solo run for the Lethal Company Challenge Moon for this week. Yeah, as you can see from that clip, the timing for this run is pretty tight to make sure that you actually get back to the ship in time. I tried out a few different routes, changed some things up from the last run I did, and this was definitely the highest scoring route that I was able to figure out. I'm going to end up with 1139 scrap at the end of the run, which is the highest that I've seen for solo. I think it's maybe even possible to get over 1200. Thelonious just put out a video today where he was using the TZP inhalants to bring out a lot of heavy items from the main entrance, and I think if you kind of mix those in with the route that I'm using or something kind of similar, you could maybe get over 1200. That being said, I'm definitely very happy with this route. I haven't even seen any other solo runs that get above 1000, so being able to clear 1000 this much is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm just going to kind of talk through the run and why I'm going where I am. And just kind of talk you guys through the route. So I started out just by running straight over to the fire exit. Obviously this is a little bit different from my last run where I inverse teleported in and then kind of ran through the facility over to the fire exit. The reason for that is that I'm actually going to take another inventory out through the main than I did in the previous route. So having that inverse teleport available to get me over to the main and take items out, and not using that to get to the fire exit, wound up being a little bit more efficient this time around. Yeah, I don't actually get two full inventories from the fire exit just because there's not enough items nearby. I will go back over to the fire exit later to grab the apparatus, because the apparatus is pretty close to the fire exit. Yeah, I'm just going to grab some items here. That teeth item is worth like 83 credits, so that's definitely a big one to grab. We'll just head back across the pipe here. A big part of this run and just figuring out this route was trying to figure out the most efficient ways to use the inverse teleports. Because the inverse teleport locations are actually super useful on this map. The first one gets you right inside the main in a room that has a lot of loot in it. The second inverse gets you pretty close to the main, and it's across like a skill jump, and it's pretty nice to get teleported over there because you can grab the item that's over there without having to go like actually do the skill jump and jump back. And then the third and fourth inverse teleports get you kind of deep inside the facility over by the fire exit, but really close to the apparatus room. So a big part of this route was just trying to figure out the most efficient ways to route around the inverse teleports and use time in between the teleports while it's on cooldown. It's a 200-second teleport, which is about 3.5 minutes. So I was really just trying to figure out how I can kind of route around that and just make the best use of the time in between the teleports. So we'll do the first inverse teleport here into this room. I'm going to grab 2 inventories worth of items from here. That robot and, you know, the magic mirror, a couple other high value items down in there. As well as these 2 axles that are both worth like 49 credits or something like that. Yeah, I'm just taking these items outside, dropping them in a way where it's going to be easy for me to come back later. I don't want to have to go up and down the ladder a bunch, so I think this is probably just a little bit faster. Now we're going to go back into this room and grab an inventory because there's a few decent items back here. There's another mirror. And something that I've already been doing in the run and that you'll see me keep doing is this strat of like dropping an item and picking it back up while I'm walking backwards. This is just a slightly faster way to move. It's definitely not something I would do in like casual play just because it's kind of tedious. But in a run like this where the timing is so tight, even just like these little time saves every time you do that do end up being pretty important. So we're going to head back over towards the ship now, and I'm going to drop these 3 inventories of items down, just so they're a little bit more accessible. And I am keeping an eye out for the dog right now, because it does spawn around 2 p.m. Not seeing it yet, but it's something to look out for. The dog can, where I was just looking...
Which is actually based.
I just said haven't seen the dog, which is actually base, which is very true. The dog can be pretty annoying in this run. It can spawn over where I'm looking right now, or not spawn over there, but it can kind of wander over that way. So I'm just kind of hoping that it's going to go that way and not go towards the ship. Even if it does go towards the ship, a lot of times it'll just kind of go back and forth along the pipe.
You just heard him.
Yeah, so I did hear the dog, and what we're actually going to see here is that it spawned in the wall. Which is something that has happened to me a few times on this route. I'm not sure exactly what causes it. Most of the time it spawns like normal, and like half the time it'll go towards the ship and be kind of a nuisance. And the other half of the time it'll spawn in the wall, or it'll just wander off kind of away from the ship and not really be a problem.
Let's fucking go. It's in the wall.
But yeah, it spawned like in the pumpkin there. That was something that was happening to me a lot. Right when this moon came out, and then it stopped happening, so I kind of assumed they had just like patched it out. But yeah, it still seems to be happening for whatever reason. So I'm gonna go back and grab those items that I dropped earlier, just because I have about 10 more seconds before the teleport actually comes back up. And the reason that I dropped those earlier when I was getting off the pipe is literally just to get me like an extra 2 or 3 seconds earlier in the inverse. Like, it's a really small difference, but just, you know, with how close the timing is in this run, it does really matter. I know I've kind of said that a lot. And unfortunately, we do have the slime here. Managed to jump over it. And I'll just get through this door, close the door on it. Slimes can't get through doors, so he's just not really a problem anymore. And I was a little worried about the damage that I took, that like I might die from fall damage later in the run. It does end up being fine, but yeah, kind of unfortunate to have to deal with the slime there. Most of the time he's just not really anywhere near you, but in this case he decided to get kind of close. And I am playing it a little unsafe here by letting my stamina go this low, because there are 2 worms that spawn. I would definitely recommend, it's definitely safer to like keep your stamina up above like 2 bars, and I do have the worm aggro on me right now. And if I remember correctly in this run, I think the worm aggroes me quite a lot. Yeah, it aggroes me again there. I don't think it ever actually ends up trying to attack me, but it's like literally every time I'm running back and forth, it aggroes me both ways. This is a pretty boring part of the run, just trying to get these items back to the ship as quick as possible before I take my last teleport. The teleporter is still on cooldown. This is kind of a good time to just bring all these items back.
Holy shit, get off my dick, bro.
Yeah, Worm just really wanted me. Yeah, trying to keep my stamina back up, so if I see like the particles for the worm, I can start sprinting and hopefully it won't kill me. Still haven't totally figured out like 100% consistent way to not get killed by the worms. Like sometimes it seems like even if you do start sprinting as soon as you see the particles, like they'll still get you. Yeah, we're making really good time. I still have to grab the teeth and the axle and the sheet metal that are below the fire escape pipe. But after I grab those, we're going to take the final teleport into the facility. Get back in the ship at 9:30, which is a really good time. And we actually still have 10 seconds on this teleport, which is mostly just due to the dog not being an issue. A lot of times when the dog is closer to the ship, you do have to be a little bit more careful. And that's something I'd kind of planned into the route. But fortunately, the dog just was not an issue in this particular run. So this is the last inventory of items we're going to grab here from the apparatus room. You're going to see me like looking around a lot, and it's because there is a bracken that spawns over here. I'm just kind of like doing 180s as much as possible just to try and scare it off. Still doing the item drop trick, and I'm looking for that light fixture on the ceiling so that I know where to go. There are a few other mobs that spawn over in this area. There's a thumper that spawns downstairs kind of by that server room. And there is also like a ceiling bug that spawns over here. So I am just trying to listen for those, or listen for the thumper at least.
Oh my god, this is so doable.
And yeah, we get outside at 11:05, which is pretty good pace. And I'll probably just let this last minute of the run play out.
Yeah, bitch. Fuck you. Let's go. Shit.
Yeah, so there's the pop-off. 11:39 scrap. Yeah, so I've been having a ton of fun doing these solo runs. This route was really fun to plan out. I did like a lot of just like scouting runs and just messing with like the teleport locations just to see you know, what the fastest way to get items out would be. And I'm pretty happy with how this run turned out. I think it would be definitely possible, but pretty tricky to optimize a solo run any further than this. I think 1200 is maybe doable, but really hard. And I probably am not going to grind this moon any further for this week just because this route took a lot of trial and error to figure out, and then just, you know, to get good timings with the mob spawns and everything. But yeah, if you made it this far into the video, thanks for watching. I'm having a lot of fun doing these like solo challenge runs, and I'm gonna definitely do more for the challenge moons for the coming weeks. If anyone would like to see, you know, content as far as just like planning out the routes and stuff like that, let me know. That's definitely something I could make videos about as well. But yeah, just having a lot of fun doing these runs, and definitely going to keep doing them in the future. Thanks for watching.